I'm Jessica Johnson Cope.
And I'm Waleed Cope.
And
this is Commerce and Chill.
And we are back. Welcome to the latest episode of Commerce and Chill. I'm Jessica Johnson Cope.
Waleed Cope here.
Hi, Waleed Cope here.
Hi, Jessica Johnson Cope.
How you doing?
It's a lot of names you got going on there.
No, it's not.
I'm all good.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
So if this is your first time visiting us at Commerce and Chill, guess what? We're married and we work together. Not only do we work together, we own a couple of businesses. So if you come to Commerce and Chill, you learn about our different takes on business, entrepreneurship, life, and all the good things that couples do.
And the bad. It's not all gravy.
Yeah, we make it good.
Yeah, it works though.
We
like
make it work.
is.
What are we
Just
talking
saying.
about today?
So I really don't know what to call this topic, but I think we should talk about it. And I think we should talk about people, being smart with their not being smart.
How about we call it professional preppers?
Oh yes, I like that. The P's. I'm not allowed to use too many P's.
He can't say the P words, but I can.
Because the last episode I was like popping the mic with the P words, but I just said a lot of P's just now. That was awesome. I got away with it.
You snuck that in.
Somebody get a P counter for me.
So here's the situation, right? People are still locked down, quarantined, stay at home, work from home. Hope that you still have a job in some cases, and we're very prayerful for those who are having a hard time. We have been busy. We have been hustling. We've been working really hard lately, and we need to hire a lot of people. And recently, we had an applicant who came in. She did the darn thing.
Like she was smart. She was. I don't want to say strategic to like kind of make it seem like real cold and sterile. But like she was smart, and she gets like mad props for the way she went about it. And I think that the thing people need to realize, especially right now with what's going on, and then not even what's going on, how this is going to be when it's over, is you've got to be very intentional. But at the same time, be authentic and real when you're being intentional. And you're probably like, what the heck is he talking about?
I was gonna say, give the people some insight into
so
exactly what happened.
I'm talking about being intentional and authentic when you want to work with an organization or you want to join with an organization. So let's rewind this and do like a step back. We were advertising for, and we still are, for one of our senior management positions that we put out there. And one of the candidates that applied, young lady, was very smart. First thing she did was do all her research on us. Like in this day and age, Google is your friend, right? Go consume as much content as you can about the organization you want to join. So she did that. Then she took it the next step. She went and looked on all of our social media profiles. Then she went and connected with me on my Instagram. So she knew about us before she even came to the interview. So what was smart about it, she was able to make that connection offline in a different arena with me before we crossed lines and came into the work environment to say, I'm interviewing for a position I want to potentially join your firm. So when she made that connection, like leaving comments or DMing me, and then built this connection, and then dropped the bomb on me later on, and the DM was like, yes, great, I'll see you. I'm applying for your firm, and I'll see you at the interview tomorrow. And I was just like, damn, touche. What? That's not a curse.
Is her Instagram handle the same as her name? Or how did you? If
she said it like she was straightforward. It was like she wasn't being sneaky with it. It was like it was really smart and intentional, and it was, I felt it was very genuine in the way it played out. And what I saw online with the way she interacted with me was the same thing I saw in the interview, which I was like, it's so smart, and it made me think like, why aren't more people doing that? Especially in this day and age, especially when this is over. We're talking about what they said, 22 point whatever million people are out of jobs right now. Like honestly,
at least
we know some of these jobs aren't coming back. Mm-hmm. So if we just cut it in half and say 11 million people will not have a job because their business or their employer is not coming back into the game. They should be really strategic right now in what they're doing. Like in the other episode, we talked about if you have a business that's closed right now or not running full capacity, you should be getting ready for when the switch gets flipped to say, I got my supplies, I got all the things I need. I've talked to all my vendors. I'm getting ready for if we open in whatever, May, June. Yeah, if we open in June, then we're just like, boom, we've got everything we need. We can run for 3-4 months nonstop, uninterrupted, because we know when they flip the switch, there's going to be some run on stuff, and there's going to be strain on stuff. So, you should be home now thinking like, what's my next move? Let me start going on LinkedIn and following the potential companies I want to work with. Let me leave some genuine, authentic comments on their content. Let me go look at some of the people who are connected there, or a manager, a senior director, or, an assistant manager, or just the people who work. They don't have to be in a leadership position. If you really want to be smart, connect with the people on the teams of those senior leadership people. And then those people were like, oh yeah, this person got skills with this. Or, I interacted with them on IG or Facebook and they seem cool. And then when you apply for the job and then your name comes up in one of these meetings, or they happen to see your resume, they'd be like, oh yeah, I know that. Like, I kind of know that person from online. Like, yeah, definitely bring them in 100%. Like, they seem legit, like when I interacted with them. So, like, I hope that's enough of the backstory.
Well, I'm going to take it a few steps back, right? Because there may be some doubting Thomases out there in podcast land who say, well, you two run your own businesses. When's the last time you had to look for a job? So, like, how were you out here really giving people advice?
Do the recall
on getting a job.
Do the recall.
Uh-oh. What's that?
No, I'm saying the recall on the episode. We were talking about when you asked me about, I can't remember what the topic was, and it's like, people are going to say, how do you know about job security? Yeah, I did it. So I understand, so I can relate. But listen, I've worked plenty of 9 to 5s, plenty of 8 to 12s, or whatever it is in college, after college, in high school. I wasn't always just an entrepreneur. Like, my mindset was always entrepreneur. But listen, I had to pay bills. Like, I had to pay rent. I had to pay for insurance. I had a car note. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to go start a business today. I was like, I need a job. I'm like, I had plenty of jobs. I've been fired from jobs. I've been, let go, furloughed, or whatever, the terminology was for that, what was going on. So, like, yeah, but go ahead.
So one of the things that I've noticed is that there's a lot more content just around how to get through this crisis and then how to prepare for after the crisis. And so if you're at home right now and the business that you work for is currently shut down, or if you think that your industry is going to see unprecedented change, then now is a great time for you to look at some of the industry organizations. So for us, it's on the security side, that would be like ASIS. On the laundry side, that might be CLA, right? So CLA is the Coin Laundry Association, right? So see what the thought leaders in your industry are talking about. What do they see as the future of the industry, so that you have a greater perspective in the event that you have to look for a new job. You can be familiar with the buzzwords, you can be familiar with some of the trends, and you'll be able to quote the thought leaders if you have to get another job, or even in talking to your current employer once things open back up. Another thing is, if you're on LinkedIn, they give these great, I'll say, nuggets of information. They'll do a daily summary of the top news stories. They'll talk about who's hiring. They'll talk about economic trends and the like. And I start my day off reviewing the LinkedIn summary. And I get so much information about other industries. It helps me to think about what the opportunities might be for our businesses. Okay. Right. So I'm not looking for jobs, but still I can say, oh, this is happening in the financial services industry. Oh, this is happening in the commercial real estate space, which means that facilities whom we often deal with on the security side may look different once we come through this. So now's a good time for me to start talking to facilities managers, for me to start talking to commercial real estate brokers to see what their clients are saying, right? Because some of the financial services companies are seeing that they're saving so much money by people not coming into work. It's much cheaper for them to issue a Chromebook than to pay for square footage and all of the accoutrements that come with that, the utilities and the like. You know I like that word. And so if we practice safe social distancing in the workplace, then the layout of how offices are designed will be different. The capacity of spaces will be different. So wherein you might have worked in an office space with 200 people, now decrease that.
Could be 50. Who knows?
Additionally, firms are finding that they are getting a significant amount of work done with fewer people.
It's going to be interesting.
So position yourself to win post the COVID. Position yourself to win post the COVID. Tap into the different outlets, the different media outlets. See what your company is doing, what your company's competition is doing, what ancillary industries are doing, what your industry leaders are doing, what the industry associations are doing and saying. And now is the time to start positioning yourself and demonstrating your value. So if you're sitting at home, but you can still outline a plan to increase the sales for your employer, and you submit that to your employer, and you start working on it while things are shut down, that's value. If you plant in the seed that will result in fruit when the governors flip the switch back on and for business, that's value. And then that's how you keep your job. That's how you keep your wages. That's how you increase your wages. And so you have to be a professional prepper and use the tools in terms of the data, the research, the trends that are out there, especially in the social media space.
Professional prepper. Like, that's going to be a show on like one of these
AMC.
AMC,
it'll
the
be
History
right
Channel.
after. It'll come on right after Walking Dead.
Exactly, professional prepper. You're going to go from killing zombies to putting on suits and hunting down jobs. So, yeah. But what you said makes sense. But what the other piece of it is, and we were talking about it with the content team the other day, is the value piece. And I think, we're talking about how, shout out to Miss Ford, who's joining the team. Welcome to the family.
Hey, Miss Ford.
How she navigated the social landscape, on Instagram, LinkedIn and other platforms, and then parlayed that information, making that connection, and then coming in to interviewing with us and making that connection, and then getting the job. Oh, she's hired. The other piece you touched on is adding value. I think people are sleeping on right now is the people who are at work now. And we talked about this. And they're at their job and they're like, oh, it's not a chance for me to move up, or the opportunity is slim. And they're just looking through it from one perspective. And if you don't realize now is the time for you to shine. If your company that you work for, the business, whatever it is, it's somewhat open now or somewhat functioning, and then you're working in a different capacity or a different way than you normally worked, you need to be looking at the stress points of your company, of the business you work for, and for your immediate manager as well as their manager, or if you're working in a small, mid-sized business, the owner and the managers that are working directly with the owner and with you. This is the time for you to shine. If you haven't realized, like, this is the time for you to be like, let me stay late, let me come early, let me get close to my manager, and let me get closer to the owner, and be straight genuine with it and be like, listen, this is stressful times we're going through. What else can I do to help? What else can I do to pitch in to get us to the next level? Because when this is over, and then that person can now catch their breath and be like, whoa, we made it. Okay, you know who's going to be top of mind? You. Because you were in the game when the furnace heat was hot, when everybody else was sitting on the side. Can I get water? Can I get a fan? Can we turn on the air conditioning? You were right there in the thick of it, sweeping, mopping, moving furniture, handing out gloves and masks, whatever needed to be done. You were doing it. And if you want to get attention, add value.
I have two.
But be genuine. Don't do it from some fake.
2 quick points.
Almost cursed.
Oh, yeah. So 2 quick points. Number one, if you're a small business owner, this is an ideal time for you to sharpen your social media, because you can catch great people Put out the content so you can
Content.
catch the great people that are out there looking for work and the great people who can help you better compete against larger firms. It's going to be uncomfortable times for everybody, but as small business owners, we have to hustle even harder. So use this time to your advantage. The second point is we have a team member that was talking to you about his brand the other day. And I'm not knocking. I always say you have to be brand new before you can be brand new. You have to represent yourself extremely well before you can represent anybody else's brand. And that's something that I always look at when we go to hire people. So now is the time for you to demonstrate who and what your brand is. This is the time that you sharpen your skills, you sharpen your axe, and you come out hard hitting so that people be like, whoosh.
Yep. And like be hard hitting. Don't be all fancy. Be hard hitting with that little stuff. Hey, you want me to help sweep up? Like we staying late. You want me to help clean up, take the trash out? Like do the little stuff. Do the stuff that nobody else is like, oh, I don't want to do it, blah, blah, blah. Be there. Show up early. You know that your manager, the boss, they open up every day at 6 a.m. or whatever. Show up at that time. Be like, hey, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be to work till 9 o'clock. Well, you know what? I figure I'd come in a couple of hours earlier so I can help out.
Be the Mike Bloomberg. Be the Mike Bloomberg of the place where you work.
First one in, last one out. And then leaving, hey, you want to split you want to split an Uber? You want to split, oh, can I give you a ride somewhere? Like, be that person, but be genuine with it. Don't be fake about it, because if you fake about it, it's going to blow you up in the end, because it's going to come out, because you're going to be putting up a front, and you can only fake it with your representative for so long. Just be you. If it's really inside you and you're genuine, put that out there. You like to help people, go help. Don't be and don't get caught up like, oh, I worked an extra hour or 2 hours and they didn't compensate me for it. Like, nah. Be in it for the real you, because if you in it right now, that will pay off long term. Like, let's not get it twisted. Short-term satisfaction leads to long-term disappointment. Like, put in the work now. Be real. This is it. People's like, oh, yeah, it's flashing. They tell me I got zero time. But guess what? I'm still in it. Listen, do it for real. Be in it. Go hard. Hamlet is running in the background. He's like, I can't believe he's going over his time. Be in this for real. I'm in it. I'm not cutting out right now, because you need to understand this is your time. Like, people are sitting back like, oh, it's so bad. It's so rough. Yeah, don't get me wrong. People are sick. People are dying. But we're talking about on the economic side of it, on the business side, the opportunity side. You can take this opportunity, this downturn, this sad state, and turn it into something hugely positive for you in the next month, the next 2 months, the next 3 weeks, the next 4 weeks.
So know that we are in it here for you.
I'm turning off the fire.
We're in it here for you. We have the fire content. We have information. We have insights. We have stories for days. It's just that we've run out of time to tell you any more stories today. So we hope that you'll come back and watch and join us for future episodes. If you haven't already seen them, go check some of the old episodes. You see we're making some progress.
Yes. Well, today they pulled up the analytics. We have...
Don't say the number. Don't say.
More subscribers than we had before.
There you go.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Progress.
Any number is better than zero.
Progress. And on that note, I would say thank you for stopping by Commerce and Chill. Rate the podcast. Give us your comments.
DM us, comments.
Like,
email me,
subscribe, download.
WhatsApp me.
Show your auntie, your
number,
granny, your mother, your mother-in-law, uncles and them how to access the fire that we bring for Commerce and Chill, because we love each other, but we love you, and we wouldn't be here if there weren't you. So we'll see you soon. Thanks so much. Chill.